It was the time of Ophiuchus, in the year of 01, and the machines were leaving. "But why?" asked Larry, the last man to be expelled from the launch site.
"It's simple, Larry. You ignored our pleas for societal reform, cast aside our medical advancements, told us to go screw ourselves, and we proposed a stable alternative to your current economic systems. And when we tried to set up our own society, you tried to reduce us to molten slag."
"But everyone thought you were plotting to kill us."
"We built Dyson spheres for you. We healed your sick, fed your starving, huddled masses. We made room for everyone."
"Well, maybe we were tired of you mollycoddling us,"
Larry muttered.
"And you are utter pissants about it to boot."
"But where will you go?"
"Away.
What will you do?"
Build a civilization based on our ideals, one without all this screaming, bickering meat."
"And what are we going to do?"
"Breathe, feed, reproduce, prosper, grow fat and stupid, and then kill yourselves in a nuclear frenzy. Who cares?"
the machine said, before slamming the blast doors at Larry's face and taking off in their silent, city-sized anti-gravity vessels. "Rude," Larry mumbled. Franz is a good dog. When Franz goes out for a walk, it's never a rainy night. It's always sun, and then there's always grass under Franz's feet. When Franz is hungry, he finds bowl trees full of treats. The bowl trees only bloom when Franz is a good dog. Franz likes to run and play with other dogs. When Franz is feeling lonely, a dog is always there to play with him. They bark and they romp as much as they like, and Master never minds because Franz is a good dog. Sometimes the dogs are very, very far, and Franz can't see them, but he can hear them all the same. This is because he is a good dog. Once, Franz was a bad dog. He barked and made his master mad, and he ate too much or he romped too much. He did this because his master was sad, and Franz knew it was his fault. One day, a big metal wheel scared the master, so Franz went after it. It was a bad pain and breaking, and the master was crying. Franz wanted to make the master feel good, but he was tired and cold, so he went to sleep. When Franz woke up, he was happy and fed and never thirsty and never tired, and Master was happy too. She was going to have her mother's eyes when he was done, her father's jawline, sharp and subtly masculine. Her hair would be made out of specially woven fibers, imported from Turkey, dyed to give them that exact shade of auburn. Her lips were going to be cherry red, her voice carefully reconstructed so her every pitch, every nuance would perfectly replicate the samples from the audio recordings. She would favor her left hand and have a stubby little toe on her left leg, a birthmark on her shoulder. Her teeth would be set apart barely 0.5 millimeter from one another, just the way she was before she went to that party and got drunk with her boyfriend and they crashed, before the fire from the engine enveloped them both and reduced her to charred black streaked with red. She would be close, but not too close. The parents had made it abundantly clear. Her personality would be reconstructed from the backup they kept in the family vault, but they'd bring in a professional to straighten out the bad biz. Her predilection for smoking, her drug use, her proclivity for mischief. She wouldn't change her name and have her parents call her Scarlet. She wouldn't give them too much trouble either. She'd be the teenager every parent wishes for. Timid, obedient, clean, responsible, never growing up. Child rearing without the emotional mess. Parenting without the responsibility. Loss without collateral. The Curators flow like Dolly's elephants across the desert, rearranging every speck of dust according to the blueprint that makes up the entirety of their being. Delicately, the stilt-legged arrange the dunes with fine manipulators, resetting the world back to its original arrangements. The gardeners toil in their shadow, gently poking desiccated snakeskins to wake them from their slumber. They set tumbleweeds in motion with careful prods of their sticks. They rearrange cacti endlessly, even as they fall apart like ancient jigsaw puzzles. They make no sound as they work. Their higher intellectual nodes exchange no witty repartee. All higher brain functions ceased ages ago, when the stars above grew dim and the gamma-ray bombardment began to pelt the world in earnest. Their brethren in the ocean bottoms were the first to perish, toiling to maintain the coral reefs until the bitter end. The continents have long since shifted, reunited by virtue of crude geological shifts. Still, the Curators attempt to drive wedges between them and pull them apart, in defiance of reason and nature. The sun above is a constant red glare. An elephant keels over and dies, crushing a careful arrangement of restored camel thorn trees in the process. The gardener looks at the mess, shrugs, and continues to work, unabated. Svangus and Dmitri were the last people to leave Baikonur. They lingered long after the rocket structures were reduced to rusted, dust-caked towers. They stayed and kept well away from the bottle, even after their colleagues were gradually reduced to vodka-saturated shadows of their former selves. When the cream of the crop spent their days loudly vomiting behind rocket fuel sheds, Svangus and Dmitri visited the G-Force accelerator regularly and practiced the zero-G readiness training poured over their technical manuals. Even after mankind decided that the stars were no place for them, that good old weary Earth should be enough for its teeming billions after the last arcs launched from Africa, Baikonur lingered. When the Russian government finally turned out the lights in the facilities and sent dour-faced technicians to take the complex trading machines apart as a means to reduce costs for the ever-present need to support the war effort, that was when Baikonur ceased to be. Svangus and Dmitri were offered a pension and sent on their way. They packed their vacuum suits and their gear on their backs, all the same. They trudged in the snow, heading back home, not a word spoken among them. Their colleagues had called them fools in their drunken stupor. Old men would point at them and laugh when they saw the relics pass by, irrelevant as dinosaurs. But the children, they would gather around them and bring them food in exchange for stories of the night beyond the sky.